Antarctica's dangerous enough because it has 90% of the world's ice and 70% of the world's fresh water. Melt it, rest of the world swims. Go and ask somebody that lives on the Marshall Islands.
I've seen it when dozens of women in my village came together and planted pandanus trees all along the coast to protect our shoreline.
Go and ask somebody who can't eat because the crops have failed 10 years in a row because it hasn't rained. Not us wealthy people in the West that can deal with it. Go and ask them.
For us, this is a matter of our national security. This is no longer some intangible theory or distant threat. It is knocking at my front door.
We have created a new humanitarian crisis. We have created climate refugees.
Climate change is not just our problem, no. We are co-owners, co-creators, and co-authors in this story, and it can have a very different ending from what I fear. But this isn't about numbers. It's about people.
50 million. That's how many climate refugees there could be by 2050. 50 million. To put that into perspective, there are 4.8 million refugees who fled Syria. Times that by 10. Where are they going to go?
We do not want to be climate refugees one day.
Bryant Zebedee is from the Marshall Islands, a chain of islands in the middle of the Pacific Ocean.
Atoll nations like mine are on the forefront of extinction due to sea level rising. With 2 degrees of greenhouse gases, it'll drown my people.
Antarctica's dangerous enough. Melt it, rest of the world swims.
And it means low-lying countries are just going to drown. They're going to disappear.
I come into contact with people all over the world that are battling the difficulties of climate change.
Jeffrey Sachs is one of the world's leading economists and a senior UN advisor on sustainability.
One doesn't have to be a climatologist to know that we're already in the middle of this, but I go all over the world and I see sandstorms and I see dust storms and I see peat burning and I see droughts and floods and low-lying areas hit by cyclones. This is not a rare phenomenon.
The climate change, the rising sea levels will directly affect my city. It's already been doing that. So we can see erratic weather changes, weather patterns, rainfall, extreme heat, extreme cold.
My country is a peninsula and we're at sea level. We don't have mountains, so if the sea level rises, then yes, I'm 100% sure that my country is going to be gone.
The rising sea won't discriminate. No matter what action the world takes to fight climate change, more than 400 towns and cities across the USA have passed the point of no return, and they will at some point be submerged by the ocean.
The past 5-10 years alone, we've seen such an uptick in hurricane strength.
Maggie Duane lives in Florida, where her childhood home of Pine Island is at risk of rising sea levels.
Just the severity and the frequency of hurricanes and storms, it's noticeably different from when I was a kid. 10, 20 years from now, the sea level could rise probably up to Main Street, what we call Main Street. I don't think a lot of people are going to want to move, but it's a reality that people will probably have to face.
All over the world, people are hurting. It's true in New York City with Superstorm Sandy, the massive hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico, low-lying areas that are now increasingly flooded.
Climate change is important to me because I've been a teacher and I have experienced my children that hail from the lower strata of the society in India suffer as a direct consequence of climate change.
Chennai saw the heaviest of rainfalls in 2015. We had a flood, and in 2016 we got no rain.
We are all global warming victims. If we islanders survive, I promise you the whole world will survive.
It just feels like such a huge, mammoth issue, and I'm not really sure what the everyday person is supposed to do about it. I mean, you can not eat as much meat, or you can turn your light bulb off, or you can, maybe walk instead of driving. But how much of a difference does that really make?